of the most incredible passages of Scripture comes in the form of John 17. And it's this incredible passage of Jesus talking with the Father. And during this conversation, he opens up with his Father about his disciples. And he writes this. He says in verse 18, "As thou hast sent me into the world, even so have I also sent them into the world." And we see that there's this parallel between how God has sent his Son Jesus into the world and how his Son Jesus sends us into the world. And so that begs the question, okay, how is God sending Jesus into the world? What kind of was going around in this? Because in some way there's a parallel here. And there's a lot of different verses we could jump to kind of look at this, but I think John 3:16-17 is one of the best. It says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. For God sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved." We read about this first coming of Jesus, and it wasn't a coming of condemnation, but rather it was come so that the world through Jesus might be saved. And don't get me wrong, I'm a firm believer that Jesus is coming again. Now, I have no idea when that's going to be, but I believe it's coming in the future. But I do know that Jesus, when he first came, it wasn't to come and to conquer, it wasn't to come and condemn, it wasn't to come and to bring about final judgment. He came to bring life. And he did that through his life, his death, and his resurrection. And so what I want to remind you guys today is that we are sent in the same way that God sent his Son Jesus, and that is to bring life, to share the truth of who Jesus is and how he can transform the lives of sinners. So what I want to remind you today, what I want to encourage you in today is don't forget. Today is your opportunity to live like Jesus did, and to bring the hope that only he can offer.